January 27th. Today's January 28th, 2020. We're doing Berachos Chaf Hey. On Ravuna, Shochach v'nichnas b'tfilin beis hakisei. You forgot, you were wearing your tefillin, you ended up going into the bathroom. Meniach yodu alein. Ad sheyigmor. You should take your hand, cover the tefillin until you finish. Ad sheyigmor? It's like, are you going to stay in there? What do you mean? El kadam Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak ad sheyigmor omud rishon. Means you're having a bowel movement. The first sort of amount that comes out, that's called the omud rishon. Then because we're going to see, if you hold that back, you could get sick. So the Chazal allow you to do that. Then you should leave, take the tefillin off, and then go back and finish. The liv soak, the altar, the lakum. What do you mean? Why do we let him have even the first bowel movement? He should stop right away once he identifies that he had the tefillin. Get out of there. So mishum Rav Shimon Gamliel, the Tanya Rav Shimon Gamliel Omer, if you hold back your bowel, maybe it's autumn day hadrukin. It's an illness called hadrukin. Choili, it's some kind of intestinal.
Dropsy or no?
It says hamatzve sakeras. It has some kind of stomach ailment.
Your stomach swells.
And silon achoizer, it means if you hold back your urine, maybe es autumn day yerokon, you turn green.
Jaundice.
Rashi says galnitza, like a gala, like a gala. Right. Okay. Itmar. Tsoa al besoro oyodo. He has some stool on his skin, right, or his hand. No, oyodo munachas pesakise. No, the second, either there's some dung on him, or let's say his hand is in the bathroom.
Oh.
Ravuna Omer mutter likros kriyashma. You're allowed to read kriyashma. Rav Chizda Omer asur likros kriyashma. Now, what's the debate? Omer Rav, my time Ravuna allows it. Tichsiv kol haneshama tahalel kol. Hapeh v'hachoitem, your mouth and your nose bichlal hahilu below sharvam. What's involved in singing or saying? Your mouth. So your hand is there in the bathroom, but your mouth is not.
Oh.
So your mouth is fine.
In today's day and age, though, there's quite a bit of difference between the bathrooms today and the bathrooms they're talking about. There's no plumbing. I mean, the Zohar was there the whole time. So
It's very good.
Okay, so what will we talk about? Current halacha with
Well,
bathroom?
he won't. I mean, that's more like the Survim Rabbanim. We will get
We
there.
will get there.
Oh, absolutely. Because we have.
I'll hold it until then.
Okay. See, the Shulchan Aruch is not going to give us this Daf HaChaim. Only gives us the Shulchan Aruch and the Ramah.
Because my understanding, it's quite different.
It is because we flush it and it's not there and all of that. It has different dinim.
Unless you're in China.
I'm not going to China for a long time.
The Shulchan Aruch says, "Heitzet soab sorrow." If it's on his skin, mechusabiv godov, or if it's covered by his clothing, or sheichnis yodav, or he puts his hand in the Beis HaKisei. This is even one of those Beis HaKisei, not even R1. Derech or eino merich, and there's no bad smell. Yesh matirim likros, v'yesh oisrim. This is machlokes. V'yesh omer shlo hitir amatir b'tzoal b'sorrow. Elav makom shei nechas meilel lo malbush. Gonna tzil yodav like in your armpit. So, but if you can see it, then you should be machmir. But our bathrooms I agree, are not the same bathrooms are there. Rav Chizda says osirli cross kriyashma. Amar Rav Maitim Rav Nechsiv Kol Shamat Aliyah. Rav Chizda Amar osirli cross kriyashma. You can't. My time. Rav Chizda says Kol atzmoisai tormarna Hashem michamocha. All my body, my Kol atzmoisai, all my bones. That means when I daven, it's every part of my body that's involved in the davening. So if my hand is in the bathroom, that ruins it. That's why he says it's osir. It. Reach rashi yesh lo ikr. So we're going to deal with two sugyas. A bad smell that emanates from something that you can see where it's coming from. Okay, so that's what we're talking about here. Reach rashi yesh lo ikr. Ravuna Omer marchik dal amos. You have to stand away from just the source of the smell 4 amas v'kor kriyashma. Rav Chisda Amar Marchik Tal Amas Mimakom Sheposach Hareach v'kor kriyashma. It's not enough just standing. You got to go 4 amas away from where you don't smell it anymore.
Which smell are we referring to? The
Like
feces
so,
smell?
yeah, or anything that smells.
So anything that smells.
Yeah,
So
smells
if somebody
bad.
has bad odor, BO next
Or
to
BO.
you have to move away.
But then you have the issue of embarrassing the person.
No, but he doesn't have to know where you're moving away. It would
What
seem
happens
to
when
me.
somebody eats herring and then comes to
There's
plant
bad
the
breath?
It's anything that has
Have 'em
anything
call
that
me.
has a bad smell.
shit. You know what? It's unbearable.
Really?
So you know you gotta move away.
Tanya Kavos Rav Chisda. But there's a brisa to support Rav Chisda.
He move, let him move.
Lo yikra dem kriyashma lo keneged soas adam. You cannot be opposite human soa. V'lo keneged soas klavim dog soa. V'lo keneged soas chazirim pig. V'lo keneged soas golim, not next to chicken dung. V'lo keneged soas ashpa, like just a dump. Sherei chara, all these things have bad smell. Now, if these things are either high up by 10 tvachim or below, so then they're considered in a separate space. Yoshev b'tzida v'kor kriyashma. Now, v'im lav, if it's not 10 or high or 10 low, marchik mola enav, you have to go away so you can't see it. V'chein l'tfila, and the same thing is for tefillah. The reach rach sheyesh lo ikar, a bad smell that has a source. Marchik dal damas b'mak barech, and doesn't say marchik dal damas from the source. It says marchik dal damas from where you don't smell it anymore. So that's like Rav Chisda. However, it seems like we paskin like Rav Huna. Koi kriyashma. Omer Rava les hilchos hakemasi. The halacha is not like that brisa. That's why we don't paskin like Rav Chisda. Likihai detanya. Lo yikra adam kriyashma lo keneged soas adam. You shouldn't read kriyashma if there's soas adam there. And v'lo keneged soas chazirim. Pig dung. V'lo keneged soas klavim. Dog dung. Bisman shenos and orsel soichon. And they used to tan leather.
Oh,
And
it's
it
the
made it
worst.
even more smelling,
Smell.
implying that without it you could do it, at least for dog one. Human makes no difference whether there's or not in there. You would always have to be away from that. Boimer Rav Sheshes, Reach Rasha Ein Lo Iker. What is that? Rashi says it's a passing wind, right? There's smell, but there's no source there, right? Mao, Amelu, also Chazu Hani Tzifi de Rav. There were these people, the yeshiva students in yeshiva Rav, they would sleep on these mattresses. Dani Ganu Vani Garsin, and yet they would learn. And people are always passing wind when they're sleeping. So we see it's not a problem. Hanim B'Vizek Torah. So, but that the permission is to learn Torah with that kind of smell. Aval b'Kriyas Shema lo. But you wouldn't be allowed to read Kriyas Shema if you could smell it. And so you have to walk away from where the smell is. That means another person's smell you could continue learning. Aval didelo, but his own smell you wouldn't be able to learn. So there's more leniency regarding your neighbor. Itmar. Tsoa oivers. What if the tsoa is? It's not fixed in one place. It's moving. Abaye Omer mutar likros kriyashma. He says it's more lenient. Rav Omer asur likros kriyashma. It's still asur. Amar Abaye, but no, I mean a law that a moving tsoa, you can be more lenient. It's not. Hatame, let's say a metzora, omei tachas ilan, stands under a tree. The hatar oiver, and a tar person walks by and he's under the tree with the metzora tame. So the guy becomes tame. What about tahar omeid and the tachas ilan? Right? What if the tahar person is under the tree, the tame oiver, and the tame person walks by is tahar? So you see, a moving thing gives off less.
We started seeing that already yesterday.
Huh?
And yesterday to be also.
Have the same kind of concept. But the im omad tummy, if he stands still, it becomes tummy. V'chein be'evan amenugas, a stone from a house that has tsaras in it, you break it up, would have the same din. So Rava, what does he say to this? It there by tsoa, it has to do with where is the kviyas of it? The ksiv. No, by a leper, it says badad yeshev michutz machane moshavo. He has to stay there. But hacha by tzoa it says vayamachanecha kadosh amrachmona v'haleka. It means Who cares that the tzoa is moving? The Torah says your machane where you daven has to be holy, and therefore, if there's moving tzoa in there, it's not holy. So that's why there'd be a difference between the case of the mitzvah and the case of the moving tzoa, according to Rav. That's why he asers. Rav Papa pi chazir ketzoa oiveres dami. The mouth of a pig is like moving tzoa. So pshita, certainly the pig is dirty. Because lotzrich avagad the salik benahara, even if the pig immediately came up from a river, and you might think he's cleaned himself, the pig is never clean. Or Rav Yehuda. What about suffix tzoa? You see something, and you don't know for sure is it tzoa, if it's a suffix tzoa. The din is asura. You can't daven there. Sovik meraglayim. Now let's say you see some fluid there and you're not sure. Maybe it's urine, maybe it's not. There we can be lenient. Ikid other people learn differently. Amrav Yehuda, Sofik tzoa babayis muteris. If there's something in the house that you think might be tzoa, if it's in the house, it's muter because usually you're not going to have tzoa in your house. Now, ba'ashpa, but if you're in a garbage dump and you see something that might be tzoa, there's a sofek, asura. So then it would be prohibited because the people throw out dung there. Sofek meraklam, I feel ba'ashpa nami mutar, but maybe it is urine, maybe it's not urine. Even in a garbage dump, we would be lenient. Why? The Torah really only ushers davening all this with next to tzoa, not urine. Rav Yonason Rami Ksiv v'yad tieh lecha michutz l'machaneh v'yatzata sham achutz. You should leave the machaneh and go to the bathroom. Uksiv v'yated tieh lecha v'chisisa es seyasecha means you have to cover your dung. Haketzad kan bigdolim kan bigtarim. That means where it's not a problem that's urine, where it is a problem is the gedolim, which is feces. Al maktarim lo yasur Torah ela keneged amud bilvad. Or let's say somebody's urinating a stream. That you couldn't daven against. But if it's just sitting there in a puddle or a stain or something like that, then it's not a problem in a Torah. Hanafalar is shari. Right, just in the ground is okay. Rabbanon knew the gazer, but it's only the Rabbanon were goyzer. He gazer Rabbanon, the vadon. The Rabbanon only made exer by urine if they know for sure it's urine. Al misfaken loy gozer. Now, uvadon ad kama. To what degree does the urine have to be in order that we consider it that we're making zera? Omer Rav Yehuda, Omer Shmuel, Kozman, shematfichin. As long as it's moist. V'chein Rav Yehuda, Kozman shematfichin. V'chein Rav Ula, Kozman shematfichin. Geniva is the name of an amoira. Mishmei Rav Omar, Kozman sherishuman nikir. For example, somebody urinated on the sidewalk, and you see it as a stain. But then the sun evaporates and you can't see it anymore. He says, as long as you can still see it, rishuma nicker, then that's the. It's not a matter of being moist.
Is it that it's nickered in terms of you see it, or is it that you realize that it's that and not allergies?
No, you see it, you recognize it as something, or like, let's say somebody urinates in sand, so rishuma nicker, but then after a period of time, you don't see it anymore.
Right.
So rather than say it's related to moistness, it's related whether you can identify it. Rav Yosef, Sharlam Rei Legeniva.
What's that?
Or is it Sharli Rei Legeniva Hashta? So he was. So he. I guess he muttered it for them because I guess he was more lenient. What does Rashi say here? Mochulo Ribono Devade Sheker had been. He didn't believe that Rav said that. Sharle Marle Gniva. That Gniva was a controversial Amoira. He lived in the generation of Rav. He was a very wealthy guy. He got into violent debate with the Reish Galusa. And there are stories about Geniva throughout Shas. So he's not held in the highest esteem by other Amiroim. And here they didn't believe what Geniva said in the name of Rav. What about Tzoa? Rav Kivan Shekarnu Paneh Mutter. Once it gets crusty, That's like it's because karnu paneh refers to like when you bake bread. So once it gets crusty, it's permitted. So if kaven shekamer paneh muter meraglaim boy, is there any shaila if it's ein reshum nicker? That is there any question that it's not going to be a problem anymore? Why are you relying on that? Rely on this. That even if so is dry like pottery, it's still usher. So how does that work? If you throw the dung and it doesn't break up into like dust, that would be considered like cheres. Other people say you can roll it and it doesn't like dissipate. So as long as you can do that, it's considered so, and you wouldn't be able to daven. Ravina have a kamina kamed Ravina was in front of Rav Yehuda midifti chazet soa. We saw some soa, and he wanted me to investigate. Is this a problem or not? Normally, ayin, go look. Ikaru panai lo. Did it crust the fire or not? The other people say hachi ormelei. Ayin imafli aflui.
Right?
Im yesh postot, does it have a lot of cracks?
Why would they?
If it has cracks, what? Mario, what are you asking?
Why would they pick it up? Can't they go further away and have
It had to be a situation where they couldn't. Because in a Hanami, they would do it like you're saying, they would just go. But let's say they were confined somewhere, they couldn't go somewhere. And then they investigated, if it's not as it did of so, then we can daven there.
It's
Now-
like you're in a prison. In a prison, you can't get away, and somebody has to.
in a prison?
In a prison.
From
The old days.
From the jail?
So mafli afloy, it had cracks. So my aviyallah, itmar,
odors of hell.
soa kecheres. Once the soa is kecheres, so then if it's beyond that, then it's not considered soa anymore. Amemar amar asura, that if it's kecheres, it's still asur. Umar zutra amar muteres. Amar rava hilchasa, soa kecheres asura. That if the soa is like cheres, it would still be prohibited. And umei raglayim, kozman shematpichim. If it's moist, you can't daven next to the urine. Meisvei, mei raglayim, kozman shematpichin asurim. If it's moist, it's asur. Nivlu, if it got absorbed or yavshu dried, mutarim. Now my lav nivlu dumi de yavshu. Being absorbed is similar to being dried. My yavshu means the ein rishum and nicker, you can't see it anymore. Af niflu means the ein rishum and nicker, implying ha rishum and nicker asur. Af agav dein matfich. That means if you can see it, even though they're not moist, it would be prohibited. That seems to go against our parisa. So ula tamei, based on that, ema reisha, say the reisha. It says kol zman shematfichin hu asur. That said, as long as it's moist, it's asur. Ha rishum and nicker shari, implying that even if you could still identify it, as long as it wasn't moist, it would be permitted. So, you can't, this is circular logical. Each part of the Bryce is telling me something that's opposite to the other, so you can't learn from it. Let us say that there's a machlokas tanoim in this. Kli shenishpechu mimenu meraglayim. You have a kli, and from it poured urine. Also, likros kriya shema keneged. You can't read kriya shema next to it or to the kli. Meraglayim atzman shenishpechu. Now, what about the urine itself? Nivlu mut. If it got absorbed, it's permitted. Loy nivlu aser. As long as it's moist. Now, my nivlu, my loy nivlu the koma. What is this absorbed or not? Tanakami lema nivlu de ein matfichin. It has to do with when if it's absorbed, it means it's not moist. And lo nivlu is the matfichin. And comes Rav Yossi Lemeimer kol zman shematfichin hu da aser. As long as it's moist, it's prohibited harishum and nicker shari, but that's hainu tanakama. That would be the same as a tanakama. Must be nivlu means absorb where you don't see it and you can't recognize it. Harishum and nicker, and loy nivlu, if it's not absorbed, means harishum and nicker. Comes Rav Yosi Lemeimer that calls man shemat pichinu da aser harishum and nicker shari. That's a machlekes. So we've set up a machlekes tanoim where it says lo kulam calls man shemat pichinu da aser. Everybody holds as long as it's moist, it's prohibited. And everyone holds harishum and nicker shari. And even as long as it's not moist, even though you can still identify it, it's still permitted. But rather than machlekes here, hacha b'toifecha menas latpiach, it can be done. is how moist does this have to be? Does it have to be moist that it could make something else moist? So then it would be osir. If it's moist but it can't make something else moist, that's the machlokas between the two Tanoim. Then in our Mishnah it says Yored Lidvol. If a person went down to the mikveh because he has to say Kriya Shema and daven, so he had to make this calculation. If he could get out in time to say Kriya Shema before the Netzach Chama, we told him what to do. Now, Leimet Tanas Stomach Rabbi Eliezer. Remember, we had a machlokas between Rabbi Yeshua and Rabbi Eliezer. How late can you say Kriya Shema? So Rabbi Eliezer says up until Nates. Rabbi Yeshua said after 3 hours of the day. So our Mishnah that seemed to say that this guy, if he can make the calculation prior to Nates, seems to be holding like Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi says no. Filu Tema Rabbi Yeshua. You could learn our Tana, who's talking about this case about the mikvah, is going even Rabbi Yeshua. But Vidilma Kavasichin. That means even Rabbi Yeshua holds that there's a minag of vasikin, which was you should finish your Kriya Shema right before the nates and go. And since you have to be somech gula l'tfila, and you go right into the nates. But that's a midas chasidus. Meikar Adin Rabbi Yeshua says you can go to 3 hours. I'm Rabbi Yeshua. Vasikin, you go everybody somech netzachah. Then it says vimlav. If he doesn't have enough time to get out and get dressed, we said yiskas b'mayim v'yikra. He should stay in the water. Let the water cover his nakedness, and he can read Kriya Shema. Frankly, more of our libo roes ha'erva. But his heart, I guess we're assuming now, he's up unto his neck. So his heart is and erva are seeing the same thing. We're talking about dirty water. The double ka'aras smich, that's like having a sheet on. Since the libo, the heart is not really seeing the erva because it's dirty. So they're separated. Shlo libo ervasa, because otherwise his heart will see his erva. Tan Rabbanan mayim slulim, clear water. What do we say to do? Yeshiv bayan ad savaro. He should stay there until his neck. V'koire. And me. V'yesh oimrim. No, oishkin baraglo. He should kick up some dirt with his feet and make it dirty. So, but the Gemara says, Tanakama, who says you're allowed to do it, the heart, it's clear water. The heart is seeing the erva in the same domain, and it's not being covered by anything. How can he read? Ksaver libo rosa erva mutter. He holds it that there's no problem with the libo and the erva seeing each other. What about hare ikva rosa erva? His heel is in the same domain as his erva. He also holds ksaver ikva rosa erva mutter. Still permitted. So what is this thing with the heel? Ikva roes ha'erva. If the heel can see the erva and mutter. Now, can you bend your heel up until your genitalia? What if the heel is touching? Abaya Amar Aser, Rav Amar Mutter. Razvid Masti Lalal Shmaitzer like this. Rav Chinna Bred Rav Ika Masti Lahachi, that Noigea Divrei Kol Aser. Everybody holds that if your heel is touching your erva, it's not permitted. What about if it's just in the same domain? Roa. Then it's machloikas. Abaya Omer Aser, Rav Omer Mutter. Because the Torah it can't be angels. It's going to be impossible to ever say Kriya Shema. However, Hilchasa, the final halacha Noigeya Aser, the heel cannot touch the genitalia, but Roya Mutter, if they're in the same domain, like in the water like that, it would be permitted. Omer Rava. Soa ba'ashashit, let's say the dung is in a closed container. Mutter likros Kriya Shema connect. There you could read Kriya Shema. Erva ba'ashashit. Now, the ashashit is made out of glass, so the stool you can see, but it's covered.
Oh.
Now, what if you put a piece of glass over your erva? Then it's also likros Shema connect. Then you can't. Why not? So ba'ashashit mutter likros Shema, because the tzoa b'kisui taya nusa. The tzoa has to be covered. Here it's covered. It's not a matter of not seeing it. But erva b'ashash is also likros krishma. Putting the erva in a glass tube, you can't read krishma because v'lo yire'ebecha erva's davar amrachmona. The Torah specifically says you may not see the erva. Erva is a matter of seeing. Here you can see it because it's not a matter that it's covered. If you cover it, you can't see it, then you're allowed to read Kriya Shema. If you cover it, but you can see it, because you're seeing through glass, it's not permitted. On Rabbi. So a kol shu mevatla barok. If you have a little bit of tsoa, take spit, and it'll be mevatel the tsoa. Amarava uverok ava. It has to be fixed spit. Amarava tsoa beguma. So there's a little hole in the floor, and there's some tsoa there. So menich sandalo aleva korek b'yashma. You can put your shoe cover it with your shoe, and that'd be fine. Bo Marbraid Ravina. Marbraid Ravina asked, "Tsoa dvuka b'sandalamai." What if the tsoa is stuck to you, the bottom of your
Which
shoe?
happens.
That's very common.
Take
That's bad luck.
It smells, so,
Yeah.
no. We're talking about that it doesn't smell.
Yeah.
If it's reyach,
yeah, usually.
Yeah, for sure.
Usually
Problem.
smell
Yeah.
it.
remember we said you got to be 4 harvests away from where the reyach stops. But we're talking about dry dung that doesn't smell.
We learned
So
something.
remember, even if the dung does not smell, you may not see it. You have to cover it.
But what's,
Could you pass me? Is
what
there
if
anything
it
to drink in
became
there?
fertilizer, then what?
That's
fer-
dung.
Huh?
Isn't that dung?
Yeah, but it's fertilizer, it has a different property now, I mean, it's used as a fertilizer.
It's
Same
still dung.
idea?
Still
I think so.
smells.
Smells.
Dung
and
on
I
animals,
think-
huh?
I think it's treated as dung. It doesn't lose its. I don't think it loses its status as so.
What happened? When we were in Africa, we learned about elephant and hippopotamus, rhinoceros dung because they don't eat protein. They're not carnivores. They eat bushes, so their dung does not smell. So
Yeah, sulfur. No,
Yeah,
because
there's no-
methionine.
there's no salt. Yeah, there's no
sulfur.
proteins.
Cysteine and methionine.
Right, exactly. So it doesn't smell.
But still, you can't see it. That's a big
You can
problem.
but you can see it, but it doesn't smell. It's not ekelhaftig. It's not.
Or maybe
disgusting.
reach ra if it doesn't have reach. Oh yeah, and it's what we said. If the tsoa is dried up like cheres, then it doesn't have the din tsoa anymore.
Uh-huh,
So
'cause it's
depends
very
what-
it's very crumbly
Sometimes you
because
see
How
these-
about amounts? Did you see massive amounts?
all along the trail.
No, but is it just massive piles?
Yeah, they're like about this
Oh.
big. The elephant, very big, but there's no smell. We did a test. So.
That's interesting. Horses, that does smell, but they don't need protein. Or maybe they do eat protein.
What
They
do
don't.
I don't know. What
I mean,
does
they
the horse
eat
eat?
alfalfa. They usually eat hay.
Yeah,
That's
but
not-
Which
the
animal?
or maybe it doesn't smell.
elephant and hippos, rhinoceros that doesn't smell. I have to show you.
Weiter.
It doesn't smell.
Those
We
band-
say
those
teku.
little Pellets,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
some of them big pellets, they don't smell either.
Or maybe you go akum
Like rabbits.
arum also likros kresh now. What about a goy?
A
Does he
goy,
have
they smell.
No. Does he have a din of erva? So the answer is yeah. A goy has a din of erva. You
What
may.
would be the half a minute that he wouldn't?
The Gemara's going to ask that question.
Oh.
My area akum. What are you talking about? I feel Yisrael nami. So Yisrael pshita le de Yisrael. Akum Yisrael le. The chiddush by nakum. Ma b'sema. Hoyel uksiv behu asher psar chamorim b'saram. It says their flesh is like chamorim. Eimer kachamar ba'almahu.
God.
They're like now. If you're standing in front of Kamash Malon, the inu nami ikru erva. The chsiv ve'ervas avihem laro. You have to bring them a pasuk. Who is this about Noach? Right when Noach got drunk, the sons went in and they didn't see his nakedness. So erva is referred to Noach as a ben is not a Jew, right? Noach is a ben Noach.
Right.
So there's a raya that an erva by a goy has a din of the erva. And you may not read Kriyash in front of his nakedness. Then it says v'lo yiskasa lo b'mayim haroim. But if the water is like smelly or bad water, you shouldn't go into that where. V'lo b'mayim mishra flax water. Ad sheyata l'zachem, you have to put water there. Kama maya rami, the ozil. How much you have to put in the corrected? It doesn't go away. You shouldn't cover yourself with bad water. Mishra, klal, umei raglayim, urine. If it's urine, you could dilute it with water, and then you could read. How much? Kolshu, any amount. But Rav Zakai Omer revius. You have to put at least revius. We paskin like that revius. Or Rav Nachman. It depends whether you're urinating into water or you're urinating into a pail and then dumping water. Meaning, machloikas lebasoif. All machloikas is if it's there at the end. Aval betchila kolshe. It means Shemei raglaim bekli. Urine's in a kli. V'zen noitin l'sochon mayim. Then you put water in it. Ba'hi kom Rav Zakkai revius. That's where Rav Zakkai said you have to put at least revius. Aval lechatchila shekodmu amayim l'mei raglaim. Let's say there's water in a pail and you start urinating there. Divrei hakol kol shehu k'shematel mei raglaim bekli. Right, as you put more and more urine in there, each drop it gets mavatel. Rishon shenofel zochamayim is vatel. Alok b'shem rabim. Lochin kfar botlu. Right, even though there's a lot in there, since each time it goes in, it is mavatel. But Rav Yosef machlokas lechatchila. Let's also different called revius. Everybody holds revius. I'm like Rav Yosef l'shmaya. I silly reviusa the Mike Rav Zakkai. Bring me revius the Mayim like Rav Zakkai. Torabanan graf shel rei. Graf shel is a chamber pot. V'ovid shel meraglaim is a Pinchas. You know what a chamber pot is?
No.
So again, there were no chamber pots, but 100 years ago,
That's common.
instead of going to the bathroom, people didn't have bathrooms inside their house. It's Poland. It's minus 20 degrees. Maybe there was an outhouse, but it would be too cold. So they would have pots that they would either go to the bathroom in, either for bowel or for urine. Huh?
Parties, right?
A chamber pot, and then they would cover it, and
Yeah.
you know.
This is inside the house.
Say again, inside
Under
in
the
your
bed.
room, under your
Under the
yeah.
bed.
What would
Yeah.
they do with the smell?
In the morning, they would dump it. But they had
Yeah,
a,
and I
they
guess
had a
but
top.
it was
had a-
covered, so I guess maybe since it was a covered, the chamber pot had a opening, then you cover,
They would seal. Right?
and it would seal. So you know, hopefully, it wouldn't smell too bad. Grav shel red, vovit shel meraglaim, also likros krish knedam, but you can't read kriyashman next to them. Afal pi shein b'hem klum, right? There's nothing in them, but they probably, you know, it was bizoyon. U'meraglaim atzman ad shiat v'lesoichen mayim. That means if there's urine in there, you could read kriyashma once you put water in there. Kama yat v'lesoichen mayim, kol shu, and Rav Zakkai Omer revius, right, like we had. And bein lifnei amita, bein lachra amita. The Tanna Kama says whether it's underneath the bed or in front of the bed. The dinim saying the same. Rav Shimon Gamliel Omer no. La'achra amita koire. If it's under the bed, you can read it. You can read kriyashma. Lifnei amita eina koire. You cannot read it if it's in front of it. Aval machi kor ba'amis. You got to go 4 amas away for koire. Rav Shimon Elazar Amar afilu bayis mei ama lo yikrat shiotzieh. Even if you're in a palace, you may not read it until you take it outside of the house. O she'anichem tachas amita. You got to put it where normally they should be, under the bed. Iboilu. Hechi kamar. How do you learn? Achra amita kor miyad. If it's under the bed, you can read right away. And lifnei amita, if it's in front of the bed, marchik arba amis v'koirei, you have to just stay away 4 amis and read. Oidil machi kamar. Maybe this I have to read it. La'achra amita, maybe if it's under the bed, still marchik dalad amis v'koirei. You still have to stand 4 amis away. And lifnei amita in a kor klal. And perhaps if it's in front of the bed, you can't read it all. So toshma, bring a proof from a Berachos, the Tanya. Rav Shimon Lazar Omer. Echad amit, achar amit, if it's under the bed, kor miyad, can read right away. Lifnei amit, if it's in front of the bed, marchik arba amis. You have to stay away 4 amis. Rav Shimon Omer, filu bayis mea ama lo yikrat shiyotziem. You got to take it out of the house, even if your house is as big as a football stadium. Or she'enichem tachas amita. Or you have to put it under the bed. Bayin ifshitin lon. Fine, you answered our question, but masnisim kash, you know, but you brought me a steer in Berachos. So epech basraisa. So reverse the second one. Why should you reverse the second one? Epech kamaisa. No, so we don't, because man shamislay the Amar kula bayis karbamas. This phrase where we said the whole house is like 1 arba ames, that's Rav Shimon Lazarhi, because he says it in another sugya. Am Rav Yosef, boy name Rav Huna. Mita pachos mishlosha. If the bed and the connection to the floor is less than 3 tefachim, pshita landika lovadomi. Lovad is a concept, like for example by sukkah, right? If your sukkah goes to within 3 tefachim of the ground, we imaginally draw the wall down or up, right? If it's within 3 tefachim of the schach, it's beyond. So now here we're talking about whether this chamber pot will be considered in a different domain or not. So within 3 is considered as if it's part of your thing. It's kalavadami. Shloish arba chamisha shisha shiva shmona tisha mau. What about 3 verses 9? Because we said anything above 10 tfachim from where you are is like a different rishus. So that's not a problem. But what about between 3 and 9? Amr le lo yadana. I don't know. Asor avadi lo meboili. I don't have any shah regarding 10. Amr abayis shapir abdis to lo yiboilecha. You did good that there was no shayla, because kol asar rishus akrisahi. Anytime we said 10 tefachim above or 10 tefachim below is considered like a different rishus. But you notice he didn't give an answer regarding 3 and 9. Amr Rava, hilachos pachos mishloisha kalavadami, and asar rishus akrisahi. Mishloisha ad asara hainu deba min Rav Yosef Rav Huna. The issue between 3 and 9 is the question that Rav Yosef asked from Rav Huna. Well, pashat lay, and he didn't get an answer. What's the halacha? Amar Rav, halacha Rav Shimon Elazar. That's regarding what we said. Echad amita kor miyad, lifte amita marchik aba ames. That you can read it if it's under the bed. You could do it like a chamber pot. You could read right away, and then otherwise you have to do 4 ames. V'chein omer bali am Rav Yaakov broad about Shmuel halacha Rav Shimon Elazar. However, Rav Amen halacha Rav Shimon Elazar. Rav said the halacha was not like him. Rav Achoy Yosef Lebrei was working on the wedding of his son at the home of Rav Yitzchak Bar Shmuel Bar Marta. I the lechup of Lavim Mistaya Milsa. His son had a problem consummating the marriage physically. Physical act he couldn't do. So also Basrei Li'iyuni. So I went to investigate, find out, and interview him. What's the problem? Chazer Sefer Torah de Mancha. There was a Sefer Torah in the room with them. Omerlu Iko Hashna Loas Sakonta Labri. That means the Yitzchak Bar Marta was the host. He says to his own, "What do you mean? You're putting my son's life in danger." To Tanya, Sefer Torah Tefillin. Also L'shanish Basamita. If you have a room that is Sefer Torah Tefillin is there, you can't have relations. Ad Shiot Siyem. You got to take it out of the room. Oh, Shianichem Kli B'soch Kli. Like we said, you have to put it a Kli within another Kli. And Amar Abai Lo Yishana Lo B'Kli She'ena Kloyon. That means you got to put it in a kli that's not designated
That's
for it.
for that.
So you got to put it in a tefillin zekel,
Yeah,
and then the
and-
tefillin zekel and another thing that's not the thing. Otherwise,
Like a towel.
each one is
Natala
considered
zekel,
like its
yeah.
own thing.
Right, so Natala Zekel, we're fine.
Yeah.
Which one is Zekel and Natala Zekel?
If
Yeah.
you consider it, it's something davar acher. Yeah, I guess it tells that you don't use it for tefillin. That's what we do normally. Yeah. Let's see what. Let's just see. Yeah, I'm just saying the Daf HaChaim. Yeah, you can conclude it.